I've been posting a lot about the Kurdish genocide that is currently happening. And I was inspired to make a video because one of my cousins, Shireen, actually shared a video of her sort of venting about her frustrations, not only about what's going on, but the media coverage and just how everyone as a collective human race is dealing with this. And I'm not here to discuss that because I co-sign everything she said, so you guys can watch that video. But I'm here today because I want to share with you guys something in particular that has happened that I feel that even if you're not affected by a Kurdish person dying, thousands of Kurdish people dying, hundreds of thousands of Kurdish people dying, as they have been from the beginning of time, you will still be affected by this. So just a quick summary. The Kurds pretty much completely eradicated ISIS alongside U.S. troops. So the U.S. and the Kurds fought alongside each other for the last 5 to 6 years trying to destroy ISIS, and they did. And this was in the Middle East. I'm getting goosebumps and like weird feelings right now talking about it because I'm so enraged, but I'm trying to keep my composure. Okay, so that happened. A few weeks ago, the U.S. asked the Kurds to disarm. The Kurds of northern Syria. What this did, and along with the announcement that the U.S. would pull its troops from Syria, what this did was allow Turkey to invade northern Syria and to start a genocide against the Kurds in Syria. Unfortunately, this is nothing new. This is something that the Kurds have been dealing with since the beginning of their existence, which is all of civilization. But one of the craziest things among the thousands of crazy things that have happened since then, I want to share with you guys. I posted about this on Instagram, but I feel the need to talk about this via video because I feel like most people watch videos. Anyway, yesterday I saw a tweet quoting the U.S. Defense Secretary who said, actually, let me back up. Because of the Kurds disarming and having to deal with all this mass murder that's happening, including chemical weapons being used against them and their children, this has caused many of the ISIS prisoners that have been captured by Kurds and U.S. as a team to escape, right? So this seems like something that the U.S. should be up in arms about. Seems like something that the entire world should be very, very worried about. But no, it's just one of the many ridiculous things that's happening, so it gets lost, right, in all of this, of the election and all of what's happening with the Kurds and Chile and China and Lebanon. There's so much happening that I understand that it's very hard to focus on one thing, but you need to understand that this is a worldwide issue. Why? Because the U.S. Defense Secretary stated, of the 11,000 or so detainees that were in prisons in northern Syria, ISIS prisoners, we've only had reports of more, and I'm shaking because this is ridiculous, only had reports of more, a little bit more than 100 that have escaped. So right now, we have not seen this big prison break that we've all expected. What? Okay, so let's go back, right, in time to the 2016 election when Donald Trump ran on a platform of Muslim bans, okay? And his platform of Muslim bans said the following, basically, right? I don't give if you are a good Muslim or a bad Muslim. If there's one bad Muslim terrorist among 100 good Muslims, nice people, who work for me probably, then that's enough to blanket ban every Muslim from the U.S. if they're fleeing war, right? So why is it okay for the president to literally say one terrorist is enough to ban an entire religion, right, from entering the U.S. after fleeing the war, but only 100 ISIS prisoners have escaped Syria, so it's not a big deal. Out of and only 100 or so, only 100 or so have escaped. What the F? I'm like taken aback by the fact that people are not freaking out right now because, like, if you want to put it into perspective, 9/11 was committed by like 19 terrorists. Many of the attacks that have happened by ISIS in recent years have happened because of 1 to 5 terrorists. It does not matter how many terrorists there are. They're going to cause terrorism. It doesn't matter if they're armed or not. They need to be imprisoned. And the fact that the US, and I feel like this is going to be taken down from Facebook because I keep saying the words and I should blank them out, but whatever. As a result of this ridiculous decision that our president made, there's hundreds of ISIS prisoners running loose. Okay? Am I exaggerating my worry and frustration as to why the entire world is not very, 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 very worried about this? Because according to the US president, we need to be very worried and put a lot of priority on ISIS. But all of a sudden, when his friend Turkey does something that affects the prisoners escaping, it's only 100. So I just want you guys to, A, please stay educated on this because this is very scary, and B, realize that not only the president, because he's a little pawn, right, but all of these people in positions of power, they do not care about us little people, right? They don't care if we're victims of an ISIS bombing or whatever. They don't care if we're victims of a terrorist attack because they are literally opening doors for these terrorists to escape and flee to the Middle East and do their own terrorism thing here, or maybe they'll come to the US. And then it'll circle back to the platform that he ran on, where he'll say, okay, there's thousands fleeing from the Syrian war that we fucked up on, but there might be a few ISIS people mixed up in there, so Muslim ban again, part 3 or whatever, however many it's been. I'm all over the place, but I think I got my message. Just understand that, I don't even know. I think I said all I have to say. If you guys want me to make a video on the Kurds and who we are, because a lot of people don't know what's going on, I would happily do so. Please let me know in the comments.